drop it in. I'll drop the new link into the.
There you go. Okay, so there's a new link up now, so there should be a new one coming up very soon. Um, it's very annoying. Unfortunately, there's not too much I can really do, sadly. Because your face just disappeared, Davis. I was just trying to
Yeah,
add it. I was just trying to add it back, and then it was just like, nah. Thank you for putting the thing back in.
Announcements. Cool. Yeah, nice one.
Carl.
Thanks, Carl. Save the day.
Okay, that's back.
Okay, hopefully we're back. Hopefully Carl has saved the day. Yes, we're back. Thank God. Carl saved the day. So apparently by editing, I actually tried to undo an edit. It just crashed the entire thing. So that was great, isn't it? We love when that happens. Turn it off and back on again. Pretty much. The annoying thing is I closed down Streamlabs and it was like, oh hey, it looks like we closed early involuntarily. Press OK if you want us to just reload while still streaming, and we'll pick up from where you last left off. I was like, brilliant. And I clicked OK, and then it loaded up with nothing and just blank. And I was like, nice. So yeah, we are back. Sorry about that, everyone. That was a pain in the ass. I do apologise. But okay, we are back now. We have a list. We are good to go. So let's go on this list here. So 50k DPM. So we got Powers Putrefire, Foul Blightspawn. So it looks like we got this typical 10 man here.
Yep.
Lord of Contagion with Deadly Pathogen, Lord of Virulence as well, a single playcaster, and then we have a Blightbringer rocking the droning.
So already we're like, probably there's no Plague Bus, there's probably 2 units of Death Shroud, and a 10-man unit of Plague Marines.
So we've got one 10-man unit of Plague Marines, we have a 5-man unit of Plague Marines. Carl saved the day for everyone, thank God. We've got a single Rhino. So the question is going to be, is the 10-man rocking the Rhino, or is the... I'm going to assume it's a 10-man.
I would assume 10-man, yeah.
So then we've got 1 unit of Blighted Terminators, 2 units of Blighted Terminators.
2 5s.
2 5-mans. We've got a unit of Death Guard Cultists, a Hellbrute with the Plasma Cannon and Missile Launcher.
Interesting.
Okay. Interesting. A unit of Death Shroud Terminators, 1 Bloat Drone with Blight Launcher, 1 unit of 2 Blight Haulers here, a unit a unit of Plague Burst Crawler, a Plague Burst Crawler, 20 Poxwalkers, pretty much all I own. Okay, just looking for feedback or things maybe to get next.
Nice.
I also really like the Blightbringer model and the Haulers. Would it be better to have the PVC with the Spitters to hold home, or Poxwalkers for screening? Okay, so...
And it is 2,000 points, so if that's everything you own, great, you've got an army to play with.
Yeah, definitely. That's the most important thing. Now, if you are saying this is everything you own, and you are saying you really like the Blightbringer model, then that's fine. The droning on the Blightbringer is the best use of the droning, because at least he has the -2 aura of leadership, so at least you're more likely to trigger the droning. So I don't mind that there. Now, it is a sweet model as well. I won't lie. So we want to try and keep that in then, because.
Should we more talk about this list then? If this is what you own, should we more talk about this list as in probably how to use it?
Yeah.
Than rather than what you should swap out.
Yeah, I'd go for that probably. So we've got and bear in mind he said he's open to hear any suggestions of what we buy. So what we'll do is we'll talk about anything we feel like would really add to the list, but we won't be like, get this, it's meta, get this, it's meta, get this. We'll stick with what we got. So obviously, so you do have a pseudo plague bus here. You could have a plague caster rocking around, firing at the top of it right now. Now you do have a full 10-man, which is great to see. Full 10-man unit, Bowers, Putrefire, and Foul Blightspawn. It's a staple unit. It's good to have. That's probably going to take your seat up in the Rhino. I won't lie. So if we want to use this Blightbringer, we want to use the Playcaster and the other 5-man. I would genuinely recommend go buy another Rhino though. That is the main thing I would say you need to go and try and buy for this list would just be a second Rhino. They're just really important to the game and how it plays. So a Rhino that would be great. Now, if you enjoy the Blightbringer and you want to get more use out of it, you could potentially look at getting a second Plague Burst Crawler as well, just so you get more chances to trigger Battle Shock, which is quite nice. Now, that being said, if we were to play this, how would we go about playing it, Dave?
I mean, I'm with you. I think you can have the 10-man, you can have the Bartley's Putrefire and the Foul Blightspawn. Makes total sense to put those together, put those in the Rhino. Your 5-man, you could stick the Playcaster and the Brightbringer together. You can actually get some fun usage out of that. Those guys, you've got an interesting option here. You can either stick them right against the wall of something and then and then push those guys out and advance them to get them into cover behind maybe a mid ruin, or depending on what maps and stuff you're playing on, or get into the wall somewhere else. You could then push your cultists towards the middle. I would personally put the PBC with spitters and probably sit it on your home and then use it to sit out, drop shots up. Your Hell Brute is an interesting one. This could be a nice one to bring on from reserve. The plasma cannon is it's got good range. It is, although it is hazardous, but it's got blast and it can do quite a lot of damage. And your missile launcher is giving you 48 inches of tagging a vehicle with a bit of anti-vehicle in there. Plus, then you can put something into contagion range. In terms of your 3-man, I would probably put the LOC with the 3-man. I think is probably what I would do here.
Yep.
And then use the Lord of Virulence to probably drop in somewhere as a bit like a. And probably the same for Typhus, actually. I'd probably have those guys off the board. Have 2 deep strike models with small bases, but one of which your Lord of Virulence can spray something as well as put something, give your PBC a little bit of benefit, which you'd still get from it. And then you've got 2 models to drop in for either behind enemy lines potentially if you can get it into the gap, or when Typhus drops in, does his plague, just helps finish something off. It's not if this is what you've got, it's pretty good. And then you've got your 2 Blightful Terminator groups. Once again, you could keep them off the table for deep striking onto mid or onto objective markers to back up Marines that maybe have been on that space or just held it. They're probably best off doing that if you drop them and then, or if you start them on the table, that 4-inch move plus the average you're going to get a 3 on an advance is going to struggle to get you into cover. But equally, if you wanted to push the Marines onto a point and then you push the Terminators up alongside them, they could be there to kind of maybe suck up some fire, try and distract your opponent from picking off your kind of 2 OC models.
Now you can do in this list, if you don't obviously play it as it is right now, you can do the Uber Ride plague Rhino, sorry, Rhino, not plague bus. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to start you're going to pick an objective, and you're going to basically, the idea is you're going to start a unit in the Rhino that you're going to instantly disembark, move, and advance, and try to get that point. And then the second unit of whether the 10-man or the 5-man or playcast stuff will then embark in the Rhino, and then that Rhino will then drive to a different staging point. So the idea is you can use one Rhino to get a little bit of extra movement for the first squad with a 3-inch disembark, and then the Rhino then takes away the second squad. And you can do it obviously vice versa. You could shoot out 5-man Plague Marines and the Caster and the Blightbringer, and then get the 10-man inside and drive that way. There's different ways you can do it without having to get it. Obviously, having a second round helps that massively because you don't have to worry about that, but that is something you can still do with it. Another thing you could do is potentially combine the Blight Lords into one 10-man, and then you could put Lord of Virulence in that, so you got a big unit that's going to reroll all its wounds and shooting. Or you could go a lot of Contagion in the big 10-man to give it some teeth in melee, and then you could go with the Lord of Virulence in a 3-man squad of Death Shroud. It's not the greatest because it doesn't have enough flamer shots to make full use of it. It's still nasty, don't get me wrong, but I think in this instance, I think the Lord of Contagion in the Death Shroud is a lot scarier of a unit, plus it's smaller, it's easier to get in where you want it to go. The cultists are always good. Again, you'll start to just playing with cultists is just great for learning how to use cultists and sort of getting the most out of scout. You don't have too much that sort of runs up the board because you've only got the 1 bloat drone and the 1 cultist, so the scout's going to be really important, and you have to learn to use it to get contagion where you need it. I think I agree with Dave. This thing at the moment, again, don't go ripping your guns off if you've glued them on. Just say the spitters, it's fine. Play it as a home defense item. You got the rest of the stuff to play board. I think that could be I think that could be, like I said, Dave said, it's a great way of playing it. Also, it's a common staple thing to do, so getting used to staple things is really good. Now, 20 Poxwalkers you could put in with Typhus. Again, I think it's matchup dependent. I think if the opposing army has an easy way to kill that, don't. But there are certain matchups where your opponent, if they haven't brought an easy way to clear hordes, it can actually be a massive problem, though you still think you want to strat reserve that and bring it on, because you don't want to be shuffling up the board 4 inches at a time.
The only other thing you could look at with it is it depends if your opponent's is a big uppy downy kind of mod unit or something. You might want to use these guys if you did play the PBC on home. You might want to use the rest of these guys to block out a large section of your deployment zone to prevent deep striking, or if anyone's got a 3-inch deep strike or something, or could just pick stuff up at the end of your turn and bring it back in. It's something against Necrons, you can end up with a turn 1. If you go first, you can end up with a turn 1 kind of set of models in your deployment zone. So, like Aidan says, matchup dependent. Like you said, I would And also, if you combine the two Blightlord Terminators, that's a good call, Aiden. I think if you do that, then split the Blight Haulers into two separate models to give yourself more model count on the table, more unit count on the table.
Yeah, I agree with that one. And I've just noticed at the bottom of his post he has an edit. I do have a bloat drone, 7 more plague marines, and a rhino on its way. So that's great because instantly, yeah, put the rhino in. What would we drop for the rhino is a question
70, so it's 7 p.m. and rhino. So we just and a bloat drone. So is there 160 points that we could swap out the rhino and another bloat drone for?
You could go. I mean, the thing is, the halls are like doing the anti-tank at the moment here. That's the problem. So I don't really want to touch them too much right now.
The only other option is you could drop the one of the 5-man bricks of the Terminators and drop the droning, and that gets you enough points to put a rhino and blow drone in.
That does do that. That
definitely it's an option.
That is an option. And then you can have your rhino to carry on your 5-man plague marines and your thingy.
Yeah, and then you've got the Milligan Plaguecaster spraying on one side, and then you've got your Plague Spear in the Plague Marine squad to give you your mini Plague Bus.
That's a good shot, actually. Yeah, so you could do that. That's a good idea. Other thing that obviously you could also depend again. You could swap the Hellbrute in and out of lists. The Hellbrute in this list, you don't have Hellbrute usually works best in lists where you have a lot of long range shooting because you can't get the contagion into the things you want to shoot at. So that's why the 48-inch range is really good. Now in this list you don't have much long range shooting, so Hellbrute might also be a decent swap out here. So you swap the Hellbrute out for the Rhino, and then you can use or you can drop that Hellbrute out actually, put in the 7 Plague Marines you've got another 5-man into that second Rhino, and you've still got 40 points to play around with there.
Oh man, Dustin. I feel your pain, my man.
Yeah, it's really sucks that they got rid of that, to be honest. In terms of what to buy next, though, because like I said, you've already got a Plague Bus, you've also got a Bloat Drone, 7 Plague Marines and a Rhino on its way. What would you recommend him to buy next, Dave?
Three more Death Shell Terminators.
Yeah. I think having the option to either go 2 3-mans or 1 6-man is really good for flexible list building. Plus, it sounds stupid, they're in a weird price point. Nothing else in our army is like 120, it's like 130. And there'll be times when you have 120 points in a list, and you can't get to 130, and there's nothing below. The closest to 120 that isn't 120 is like 90, like Bloat Drones, Plague Marines, or a 7-man Plague Marine squad, which just doesn't do anything really, because it's like, it's just like you don't get any extra special weapons. It's kind of weird.
One of each.
Yeah. So it's a good start to your collection, mate. It's a really good start to the collection. I hope Lightloads get a bit of a buff as well soon, because that'll be nice to have. But yeah, that's great. That's a great second purchases there. Second Rhino, super important. 2 Rhinos, I think every Death Guard player should own. I only use 2 most of the time. 3's probably best to have because you have the flex to use 3, but 2 is like a minimum baseline. I'd try and get as a Death Guard player. 2's great.
Yeah, the final thing I would just say on your list is the heavy blight launcher on the drone is great. Just remember, because it's got great movement, is position it in kind of deployment. So I would do it where if you've got if you were on this instance with maybe the 5-man unit, the 2 characters on foot, if you were going to push them out and advance them, is have that floating around somewhere behind to take out an enemy infantry unit that might be coming towards you on that front, and then you can push it up to kind of support on the point afterwards.
Yeah, good shout. Right, so we'll probably do one more, and then I've got a giveaway to announce. I've got some stuff here that I want to show, and that'll bring us to 8 o'clock, which is like an hour and a half there, so it's pretty good. It's a pretty good time to probably call it there. Plus, it is very warm in the UK, more so than normal, and I am very warm in this room at the moment because I do not have aircon. Yeah, I know, right, Austin? That is the nightmare number to get left off in your list. It's like 110, 115. It's just like great because you can shove in like Deadly Pathogen and 2 units of Cultists, but usually when I've already built a list, I've already got scoring units, so I don't need to put more scoring units in. I'm just I just want something that does damage. It is an awkward number. So last up for today, we've got Truffle Shuffle. He's rocking a Death Guard Sorcerer and Terminator with the Force Weapon and the Plague Combi Bolter. A Lord of Contagion with Deadly Pathogen, Lord of Virulence, Tallyman, Typhus, Tallyman, interesting. 2 units of Cultists. Oh, good lord. Big Chungus 18 Death Shroud Terminators, a fetid bloat runner with the heavy blight launcher, 2 fetid bloat runners with the plague spitters, 2 haulers, 2 plague burst crawlers. Just love being fairly tanky, and Death Shroud my favourite unit.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disparage taking 18 Death Shroud Terminators. I've done it loads of times.
Very tempted to drop something to add in Predators, primarily UKTC layout. Go on, Mr. Death Shroud enthusiast.
I completely am. But if you, I'm going to hate to say this, but if you do want to put in 2 Predators, the absolute simplest thing to do in this list is to take out one of the 6-mans, and then you're only 20 points off getting 2 Predators in. Like, it's an interesting one. There's such a the tricky thing with 3 of them is you can't put all 3 into Deep Strike, and then you have to be really, really clear about where the other one's going, and it does not want to be sitting on your home objective. So you could bring it on from Strat Reserve to flame something and then try a 9-inch charge, but with the 6-man unit, you're never going to be able to hide it or get most of it into cover. So you might get some. That's the only other way of getting it up the board easier, and then once again be really kind of looking at your opponent's army and what they've got and how fast they can move, as to whether you can get the other 2 out of Deep Strike into a decent place. I say this all the time. My opponent always, when I'm playing Death Shroud, is like thinking about screening out their home. I'm like, realistically, I'm always sitting there going, I'm never going to get that amount of bases into your home anyway, even if you've pretty much lazily deployed.
Yeah.
So I always use them to just drop into the midfield and just bring that line of kind of combat further up the field where they won't want to come past it. So because then if they do, they're in range of kind of getting absolutely annihilated by Death Shroud. So definitely look that when you want to bring those in for Deep Strike, what you haven't done is put a load of models in the places where you want to put the Death Shroud. It would be my advice with it. But yeah, as much as I'd say if you want to put 2 Predators into it, then the fastest way to do that and still have scoring units on the table.
So I think he's in the chat. I think it's Peter Fairweather. This is your list. Let us know. He has said, I do normally start with 1 or 2 on the table. The Mega L and the new deployment maps really helps keep them hidden. My meta is kind of melee heavy, unfortunately. Now, if this is melee heavy meta, that's not as much as an issue as normal.
No, it's not.
So I mean, I agree, because again, if my concern would be if these guys all went in reserves anyway, would obviously be ran down by like World Eaters, because you're gonna have such low like actual impacts on the board. If you're gonna start a 6-man out, that's fine. Now, if you wanted to put 2 Predators in here, you could go as well as what Dave suggested. You could go. I'm trying to think. If we dropped,
take the haulers.
I'm thinking the haulers, which is what 180.
180, yeah.
And then
80 points.
And then I'd actually drop I drop 1 Death Shroud to a 3-man, have that with Lord of Contagion so it still hits hard.
Yeah, gives you a point.
And then that gives me how many points left? Because that's 180.
40 points. You got 40 points left.
40 points left. A unit of Nurglings.
Yeah.
Because then again, it helps you with that early aggression. If someone tries to push you early, you can at least stop scout moves, stuff like that. Stop infiltrate. Because again, the problem with this list is you have to wait till turn 2. So imagine you're on like Terraform. Your opponent just starts Terraform every turn 1. You need to stop that happening. You need to stop him getting on it, move block, or just stop infiltrators getting on it. So I think actually having a unit of Nurglings in there could actually be quite important for that reason. So actually, yeah, that's probably the change I'd go. I mean, I get why you've got haulers because you can spread wide, but again, if we're swapping the both haulers for 2 Predators, your unit count is actually going up because you're going to have the Death Shrouds still exist. They're just less models in it. Then your haulers both become Predators, and now we've also got a unit of Nurglings in there. So your actual unit count doesn't go down in this instance. It goes up. Admittedly, the one that goes up by can't do actions, but still. But yeah, I think that's the change I'd go for, personally. But I don't think Dave's suggestion is that bad either. That again, you could drop.
It depends on your opponent. Like you said, it depends on your opponent. If you've got World Eaters all over the table, put them all on the table and just muller them. If your opponent is going to be playing KG and some positioning play, then you can afford to kind of bring them out of space.
Yeah, Cranky, no worries, mate. Have fun, mate. And yeah, enjoy your game, dude. Have helps local Highland games. Enjoy, mate. And we'll see you on the next one. And thank you for tuning in. Now, he says, I've also tried dropping the crawlers, which has also worked fairly well. Again, I think that's totally fine, especially in melee heavy. crawlers tend to get good effects, like killing like scoring units that are hiding against like shooting armies or being able to reach stuff. But again, if that's mainly against melee, indirect's not exactly an issue because the melee engagements are having to happen, which usually happen in the mid board. You can usually get line of sight. So as a direct fire weapons platform, Predators generally do better for the points per point. So you could swap both of them for Predators. That then still gives you 100 points spare. Because I mean, 50 points instead of each. They are expensive, aren't they? So then with that 100 point spare, you could either go like you can technically put another hauler in technically. You actually couldn't you? That's kind of mad. You got time to sit at home as well.
You've got three drones anyway, so.
Yeah, you could go like another hauler. So you go triple hauler, triple boat drone, triple double predator. Or the alternative would be to find more points to get that final predator and go triple predator.
Yeah, and then what you could do in a melee heavy meta as well. Then is you could actually then make one of them a full out destructor with the plague heavy bolts on it as well.
Yeah, and then you could put that one in strat reserves as well, and then that thing popping up to shoot a key unit at a certain angle that they've left open. That's gonna be really nasty. And again, melee armies are happy when they don't have to worry about screening. Now, screening out melee units, again, they're not too asked because they're melee themselves. Having to worry about Predator showing up at a random thing is actually an issue because like they don't want to get shot by that thing. And the main thing when melee play against ranged is they know where your units are, so they play around it. With a Predator, that's not as easy. That's in reserves because it could be at any angle. Like, it doesn't even have to come on behind them. It could come on in your deployment, but again, where? It could be at any angle. So having to constantly be aware of any angle at any time is an extremely scary prospect and really hard to deal with. I'm off to buy triple Predators. Mate, it's a fair shout, I won't lie. It'll be a fair shout.
They're really good. They're fantastic. Very rarely I've got a list that doesn't have one in or two.
Yeah, they're very good. Technical, seeing a lot of entropy cannons, what do you prefer? I have 2 flamers, 1 entropy, and the 3 PVCs I own. So mine are all modelled with flamers because I used to run them just with flamers. But I tactically, on one of mine, have the Rot Hail volley gun on the front. So every time I play, I'm like, whatever the odd one is, whether it's 1 flamer or 1 entropy, I'm like, the one with the triple barrel machine gun is the odd one out, and that is the opposite weapon. And I've never had an issue with that, which is really nice. But I take entropies at the moment because I run triple bloat drone with flamers, and I have Death Shroud with flamers, and my infantry with flamers. Like I've got enough flamers. But there's an argument that both are great. And like genuinely, you could run either or. It just depends where your firepower and your list is. Like if I had 3 PVCs, 3 Predators, all with las cannons, I'm probably just gonna take flamers on them because I've got 6 las cannons on Predators. If I brought a Land Raider, I'm gonna put flamers on them because I've got 4 las cannons on Land Raider. It totally depends. Both are good options, and it just really depends. Especially on UKTC at the moment, 48, like the range issue of entropy cannons isn't as big of a deal because the sight lines are now a lot more condensed. So 24 is usually enough to shoot at something. But yeah, that'd be my opinion. So yeah, I think on this list that'd be probably the play. I probably would go for those Predators over the PVCs at the moment, just because of how your list is playing. But again, the other option would be like we said before, drop the Haulers, drop the Death Shroud, double Predator Nurglings. We'll drop it down to a 3-man, or go with Dave's suggestion, which would be to cut one of the Death Shrouds, put the 2 Predators in, and then that would give him how many spare points would it give, or did he have to do something else with it?
He just needed another 20 points. So there's a few places you could.
But you'd obviously drop one of your characters though as well, wouldn't you then?
Yeah.
But I do like the triple characters though.
It's good. I really like it, and I think if you are going to run 18 Death Shroud, then having the Tally Man in there is actually a really good shout because having the extra CP to do sustained and extra AP in a turn to really destroy whatever it is you're really going into makes a lot of sense.
Or absolutely wall a melee army by going sorcery unit -1 damage, second unit -1 damage. Like just brick wall a melee army, and then you swing back.
Whilst another unit's -1 to hit, whilst another unit's -2 because Typhus is in it, and then whilst you've got Nurglings behind another unit, which is making that -2 as well.
He asks, would you still keep 1 PVC just for pest securing units behind walls? No, I wouldn't run 1 PVC for killing screw units because it's just not reliable enough. 2, with a Boil Blight, can reliably kill a screw unit. 3, without Boil Blight, can pretty reliably kill a scoring unit. 1, even with Boil Blight, is still risky to try and kill it because you just roll a 1 in the shots. 4 shots. You get 4 shots, doesn't matter if they all hit and they all wound, you won't kill 5 scouts. You ain't got enough shots. Whereas even if you roll 1 on 2 PVCs, that's still 8 shots. You still have the chance of like all wounding, all hitting, and killing. Unlikely, but the odds are a lot favour. Whereas with 1, it's literally impossible unless you roll like more than one shot. So you can just roll the one shot, cool, never killing them. So yeah, if you're gonna use them to kill score units, you need at least 2 minimum, 3 ideally. So I would never just take a single PVC, unless you specifically want to just hold home with flamers, in which case that's alright.
You're just right anyway. You just take pure probability maths, right? So what is it? D6 plus 3, right?
Yeah.
So you go, it's going to average 3 plus 3 is 6. You're now hitting on 4s, mostly if they're doing their scoring units are placed properly. So you half that back to 3, and you can't kill a 5-man unit anyway.
Yeah. So it's one of those. But again, it's nice to have indirect, but you definitely have to I wouldn't ever just take one. I think if you're going to still bring indirect, you lean into indirect a bit more.
Yeah, and if you do take one, just think of it more as the mortar being a bit of a harassment unit, but try and get line of sight when you do fire it. And then if after it's sticky to your home objective, the Predator does become a useful unit to bring out at some point, and the PBC does become a useful, bulky, tough AF unit to just bring out and park on something to allow another unit to leave it and go forwards.
Dog just headbutted the desk. He just got back from his walk, just ran straight into the desk. Yeah, so I agree with those. I agree with the assessment there of that one. So, but yeah, let us know how it goes. If you do something out for Predators and whatnot, do let us know how it plays. And again, keep the 18 Death Shroud dream alive, because that'd be really funny. And again, you are just gonna win some matches by just stonewalling someone with 18 Death Shroud because people just don't know how to deal with it, which is quite funny.
Yeah, well, I think the list I'm playing next has got a despoiler in it, and 2 units of 6 Death Shroud.
Oh good lord, that's actually fucking horrifying. Ew, that's pretty grim. Because they're gonna have to expose stuff to keep the Death Shroud out from Deep's rapid ingress in, and then the Knight just picks up whatever they move out. That's quite grim. And he has the range to do it from safety and miles away.
Once, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's pretty funny. I'm interested to try this guy out. Actually, I'm actually kind of hyped to try him out tomorrow and just see how it just see how it goes. So again, thank you for the Knight spoiler.
Can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah, I'm watching it one tap now, Tim, because I'm not used to playing with Knights and I'm useless.
It won't. You'll just be like, trust me, the most fun thing in the world is having that thing sat behind the middle L or something on the UKTC terrain.
Yeah.
Because it's totally hidden, and your opponent will just be like, I don't really want to bring anything out.
Yeah, what do I do about that?
you don't move it for a turn at least, and they're like, well, I'm going to hide because you're hiding, and if I bring something out, then
yeah, then I'm going to shoot you.
You'd be like, oh, there was a wall there, is there? Doesn't matter.
Bye bye. So that'll be fun to try that out. You also got his yesterday. Nice, man. That'd be cool. Right. So I think that's the last list we're going to do tonight. Just gets cracking on a bit, and it's really warm in the UK. So just before I head off, though, I do have to give an announcement of the giveaway. So let me just put that in a second. Our friends at Solitaire Games have made us some more sets. So you currently can buy disgustingly resilient sets of gaming aids on their website. However, he has printed us off some with more unique colours that are going to be going up for giveaway. I think we have 3 sets to give away. And as you can see, they're a much darker green, these ones here. So a much nice darker green. It's really nice little deep stripe marker. So that's a deep stripe marker. So obviously you can put that on your model. You know, that's 9 inches away as long as you combine this little circle and you can rotate it around, which is really nice like that. So it's got one of those in it. It's got a load of contagion range markers. It has objective markers for you to put down your infected objective. So you can put down a little disgustingly resilient sign on your objective to be like, yep, that's infected. You've got a little dial here to keep track of your contagion ranges and what turn it's on. So you've got 3, 6, and a 9. You can just spin it around to help you remind yourself. And you've also got contagion range sticks. You've got a stick that measures 3 inches, a stick that measures 6 inches, and a stick that measures a whopping 9 inches. So we'll drop that out a second. So there you go. So it's the 9-inch stick. So you can obviously check your contagion range without having to get your tape measure out. You can just literally put the stick down and go, are you a 9? Cool, you are. So we'll have these going up very soon. I'm going to put up tonight on the giveaways channel on the Discord. So if you are a member, do feel free to, you just click on the reaction on the post, and it will automatically enter it for you. We'll probably set it for next weekend's plague surgery stream, and we'll announce the winner then. And then, yeah, we'll have a few winners. And again, if you're abroad, don't worry, we'll post it to you. All sorts of good stuff. So thank you to our friends at Solitaire Games for sending us a few of those kits to do as giveaways. And as always, we have our £25 Warhammer gift voucher, which you can also win, which is obviously instant delivery. Just tell me where you live, and I just send you the Warhammer gift voucher. So you can go pick yourself up that new unit, or at least contribute towards that new unit you were thinking of getting. So that's a little way we can give back to the members of the channel. So, yeah. Thank you for those members that are supporting. And even if you're not a member, thank you for tuning in. and for obviously enjoying the content. We've got some new content ideas coming up. I was saying before, Dave, I want to do a WTC list bingo. So we're gonna go through all the WT lists, but I want to make a bingo card of like one of them was 18 Death Shroud and see if there's an 18 Death Shroud list. Someone said before Demon Prince. Any list gonna bring a Demon Prince? Morty,
That's true.
Plague Bus. I want to see if there's Plague Bus, and I already have a spoiler for that one because there's a post on Reddit being like, "Why are there so many WTC lists running Malignant Playcasters?" And I went and I was like, "Plague Bus,
Plague Bus,
Plague Bus." So we've done.
We should have copyrighted it.
We really should have. We made the thing. We did the thing. It's ours.
I just want to see if we get to a place over the next sort of 6-9 months where the spoilers just start turning up in random people's lists as well.
That'd be pretty funny. Imagine. Do you know if any are? What's that? Do you know if that's say the last message? Do you know if any of those 3 plans are available for sale? Even
is that the 3 color schemes? Do you mean, Dustin, that Ada was talking about? See,
I'll have to see.
But Aidan, I mean, do you think? I hope you've said like, comment, subscribe about 100 times so far.
You know what? I've actually let myself down today. I forgot to say like. I said it. You're not here. You're not here to remind me and to share in the joy of liking and subscribing content that you enjoy.
All right, guys. We appreciate it. Thank you.
We do really appreciate it. And like we just hit the 6K sub goal. So the next one is the blessed 7K. So the blessed number, which we're
7777.
that will be the real dream. It's gonna happen when I'm asleep. I'm gonna miss like screenshotting it, which is gonna be really upsetting. Yeah, just let me know what you mean on there, Dustin. On what you mean for the sales. World Games Live guide, a guy playing the Plague Bus. He played it today and then the last game yesterday.
Nice.
Plague Bus. I got super upset because there was a Goonhammer article where the Plague Bus was in the list that did quite well, and the guy was like, and the Goonhammer guys were like, it looks like this person's brought some new tech we've never seen before, putting Playcasters in there. He said, yeah, but he was like, it's nice to see someone still innovating. And I was saying like, I was doing that for months. I was
like, go back and watch the stream.
The giveaways 3D plans so they're not mine, Dustin. They're not my 3D prints. Those things they are they belong to our sponsor Saltire Games. They just use our logo and stuff. They ask for permission to use it and they produce them. So I don't have the 3D printing plans or anything like that. That's all their side and that's their business that they run. So I don't have any 3D printing nonsense. I get sent them to send to you guys.
They're just available for sale on Etsy.
Yeah, on their Etsy page, which you can check out in, not on this video link, but any of the other videos. Saltire Games, promo code NERGLE, 10% off your order, and it gives a little kickback to the channel, which is great.
So in this stream's comments, in the description, there is no links, no referral codes, no...
And this one specifically, no, because this was hodgepodge together after the one just literally died.
Disaster recovery.
So yeah, this is the disaster recovery stream, unfortunately. But yeah, I think so. What we'll do is we'll sort of head off there for now. So upcoming next week content, I'm gonna do I'm going to call it. It's going to be like Infection Critical, which is basically a day. I'm going to look through the Meta Monday articles, Greenham articles. Okay. If anyone's done really well that week with Death Guard, short episode, 20 minutes, talk about the list, what's good about it, what I like about it, try and reach out to the person, they get any comments on how it plays. And so I'll give a quick little video, being like, this is your your highly infectious list of the week. Bam, there you go. That's how it plays. That's how it did well. That's what it went against, and the guy did really well. Round of applause for him. Any comments from the guy himself, blah 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 blah, and just a way to get out there that these are the lists that are doing well as well. Yeah, we've been talking about the dice tentacles. I'd love to get them. The only issue is when you order from Baron of Dice, you can't buy 30. You have to buy 1,000. Yeah, so that's a lot of dice, and obviously a lot of upfront costs. So we'd have to talk about pre-ordering and stuff like that. And it's I sort of like have to like, it's logistics and whatnot. Because obviously if I'm shipping abroad, that's going to cost a lot of money to get shipping and stuff like that. So we have to talk.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it as well. But the thing we could do is we could potentially set up kind of, if anyone's interested in like a Disgusting Resilient kind of hoodie or T-shirt or something, we can put some designs together, and that's not something we have to stock. We can get something created with a shop that you guys can just order and get them printed for if that's something people would be interested in. But yeah, like Aidan said, it's doing something like buying stock is just not something we either want to do to then have to try and sell you guys. It'd be better if people want stuff that we can kind of find ways to do, then I think that's a bit better. And the other thing I was going to say is the guys, Aidan, now enabled the kind of content ideas section. So please jump in there on the Discord and add your ideas for things. And we'll certainly be reading everything that's in there, and I'm sure, no doubt, be adapting some of it.
Yeah, so if you remember and you have any ideas, or you're not a member, you can Discord. Check out the content, photos, and ideas. Let me know what you'd like to see us talk about. We're going to get some more faction-specific matchup information out there as well. It just helps us tailor the content of what you guys want to see, which is always helpful for us. And yeah, we've got still content coming up. Again, it could be a wait till our codex. People have been asking for a speculation and wishes, sort of ideas video, so that's going to be a fun one. I think we can do that, Dave, definitely, can't we? Because we obviously have desires and wants that we want to see for our codex, so we can obviously speculate about that, and there's a lot of things to talk about. So there are ideas floating around. Obviously, being a non-codex army, it can get a little tough talking about rules points and like stuff, because there's only so many times I can tell you the Plague Bus is the best unit in the game, factually. Like, don't fact check me, but that's true. But yeah, we're still got plenty of things we can do and sort of like talk about. And event recaps obviously got Leeds in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, yeah. 3 weeks Leeds. So that's gonna be a super major. I'll be going to. I'm not sure if you're going to that one, Dave, because it's a bit far for you, isn't it?
It's not that. I've got something in the calendar already. Unfortunately,
that's alright.
But yeah,
I'm going to. I can't remember if Will said he's going to it. But I'm definitely going to it. So I'll have an event recap up for you on that one. And then after that, it's countdown really to London. Then really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I am gonna try and get to an RTT in St Albans, which is quite a shark tank, to be honest. You run into people like the global #1 world eaters player and stuff at this 20-person event. It's mad. So I will try and get into one of those before London as well, because it'd be good to get into a more competitive environment just ahead of that.
I will try and get to a little RTT and take this night as well, because that'd be really fun to talk about. Because I'm sure a lot of people out there are night enthusiasts and would love to know how we get the most out of our night. So I will give it a whirl, see what I can do with this bugger, because he looks really cool and I really think he deserves getting out there and killing some loyalists. That'd be really fun.
Cool.
Right.
Should we say goodnight?
Yeah, for now though, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It's very, very important to like, comment, and subscribe. The light just went off.
That's what happens if you don't like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, if you don't like, comment, said the demon that is lurking in the shadows behind me is going to kill me. So please like, comment. Oh, look, it's the demon.
He's just in the background going, like, comment, subscribe.
So yeah, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe before I get mauled by the like, comment, and subscribe demon, also known as the YouTube algorithm monster. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Dave, any last words, mate?
No, just thank you, everybody. I'm glad I could join for the last bit. Aidan, good to see you as always. And
You too,
everyone have a good evening.
Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Stay around, guys, and we'll say, oh God, he's alive!